Yeah, I think it's time now. So good morning, everybody. This is Rahul Jain, Director Development from Leadership Management International, and I want to welcome all of you. So we are starting with the webinar. Leadership Management International is a company present in over 80 countries, and millions of people have done our leadership courses that are available both offline and online. Work at home is now the new normal, yet one element of work may be missing. This element is connected with leadership. That's why today I am pleased to introduce Mr. Ashok Thusu, Executive Director LMI India, who will take us through this very interesting webinar and journey to explore the lead ahead imperatives. Do note that if you have any questions, put these up in the chat box. And definitely if we have time, we'll pick up some of them. Thank you. So I will now hand over to Mr. Ashok Thusu.
Thank you, Rahul. The definition of work may have changed. So we welcome again to the Lead Ahead webinar. And this is your host, Ashok. Leading ahead is something we need to do all the time. But in this time of acute disruption, this becomes an essential thing to do. Let me ask you a question. What is the first thing you will do when the corona ends? Supposing it's ending tomorrow, what is the first thing you will do? Oh, sure, smile, jump with joy, some witty response, right? No, seriously, let's think of it. What actually is the top thing? The top action, if you may, top work to be done, very top priority, professional or personal. If you don't have this on the tip of your tongue right now, it means you haven't started your exploration of planning ahead. Because when you start planning ahead, only then do you start leading ahead. So let me assist you in this journey to look further. This is a kind of agenda which we will be walking through. So a recap on the situation, everybody knows what's happening out there. But just to get the right perspectives, I'll just be rapidly going through several things. Many of them you know, but many of them may be stated in a different manner. Then the need to exhibit leadership, conquering self-barriers, and summing up. So we are in the situation already. Many variables exist. These are unpredictable. And so perspectives become very important. To navigate through, you need exemplary qualities of leadership. This is the time for effective leadership. So how do you approach this? You know, we fall into patterns of existence. In the past, we have been doing things successfully, and those form patterns. We know what to do, when to do. But today, these patterns are disrupted. We become wedded to them, in fact, but they are disrupted. And these disruptions disrupt our comfort zones because our mindsets were focused on what was in the past. Our mindsets were geared to a normal way of working. And today, this mindset has to change because this will be the essential difference between greater success, or even failure. What are these and what kind of mindsets we will go into this? Maybe towards the end of the session, there is a small working exercise. So you might need pen and paper. So if you do not have pen and paper handy, this is the right time to just get up and jot down something. You might need to write something from within this to ask a question. but at the end, certainly you'll need. So just get that. A few seconds, we'll pause till you get the pen and paper if you don't have that already handy. Okay. So north, south, east, west. The virus is everywhere. It has spread furious and fast. No one has immunity. None of us has been through this situation because this is the first time ever this has happened. Millions will get infected and many will not make it. Each human life is valuable. So it's a time for deep crisis. On the one hand, you have to protect lives. On the other hand, when you do that, the economic activity gets impacted. So we are impacted here in India, so is everybody else. And not only from the perspective of people, but economic activity. Everything is virtually halted in its track. The world has faced wars, First World War, Second World War. There's been a Spanish flu in 1918, and that had huge serious impacts on the GDP of the world. Very severe. Compared to those two, perhaps this time the impact will be there, but not as severe. However, country-wise, it will vary. Some like Europe may see GDP loss of 6 to 8%. Some like the US may be 3 to 4%. India, it's been touted 1%. Somebody says 1.1, somebody says 2.2. But remember, these are numbers being generated by well-meaning economists and statisticians on their perception of the situation as it exists today. And this is a fluid situation. The situation can change. The situation can alter. But generally, it shows the direction we are headed. Perhaps in China also, they are not showing a negative GDP impact. The reason for both India and China may be a very robust internal market. We are, of course, all of us dependent on global supply chains, but global trade also. But the domestic trade will probably help us through. There have been other location aspects. For example, a proactive lockdown done in India versus a reactive lockdown in Italy or Spain. Some industries are hit massively. Some maybe even thriving, some small set of pharma and medical industry. And work at home is the new standard. Often this may confuse people what work to do from home. Sometimes there is a little clarity as we scramble to do whatever gets on hand. Sometimes some may even think it's wrongly a paid holiday. There are different thinking of people. Some people are optimistic. Some are hopeful, some are pessimistic. So people like Donald Trump would like to have the economy open very quickly, but the counterbalance of the fear of losing lives gets in the way, and the optimism may not be too practical. Many of us are hopeful that one day this will go away. We don't know really whether it will take a month, 2 months, but yes, it will go away. And then there are the pessimists who say there's going to be a second wave, or they say this is not going to go away till the vaccine is discovered and done on a massive scale. Maybe God knows what the truth is. Maybe even God does not know what the truth is, because nature is running its course. But yet, one day the tide will turn. And that day, and even before that day, it is you who are the person who is going to lead ahead. So whenever this thing turns, and it will turn one day, so prepare for that, lead ahead to that day. That is what you have to do. That is what all of us have to do. Let me get now onto some key perspectives which I mentioned. There are many. There is a complex web. I will not take up as many as are possible, but some key ones to sensitize us to what the circumstances. There is, of course, the economic perspective. Then there are perspectives based on our behaviors. how we act. And then individual level, we may have different sets of challenges as we are on the ground. And then each one of us has to ride the tsunami. We need to think of people's safety on prime. We need to stay on top of our business and deal with uncertainty. So we will go through and wade through one by one in some ways into these things. All through, the biggest mantra is stay calm. I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult to not to panic, but we need to stay calm. We need to make the same thing. So this is just something which is of April 13th. It is the market capitalization on the US economy. Now remember, the market capitalization is a distillation of hundreds of thousands of people's opinions as they decide which stock or which industry is going in for a hit and should I sell or should I buy. So this is a very good picture. I would say this is just one snapshot of the world, but it captures everything perfectly. This is of 13th of April. If you see on one side is the commercial aerospace, it is a 40% hit it has taken, and that reflects how much time people think this will take to come out of the crisis mode. Then air travel, then oil and gas, banks, insurance, automotive, real estate, fashion. And on the other end, you will see there are some pharmaceutical companies. There are some which may be up also. There are consumer services like the ones we do. There are retail, healthcare, medical technology, high tech, defense, and the whole swath. Now, as I said, this is one picture of a snapshot which is visible. I will get into behaviors also as I get into this. Many people think that this will go down in a V shape. It will go down, some people say not in a V shape, it will be a kind of U. Some people say that the U will have a longer bottom. So how long this flat remains will be not determined. This could be longer, this could be shorter. And finally, they also say that when we are coming out, whether you come out very fast at a high slope or a low slope is also not predictable. Now, the tendency of the human mind when we face such challenges is probably to freeze and to have this kind of thought, let's say when things normalize, why should I think right now? It's too complex for me. And these are elephant chains which can hold you back from at least thinking through and crystallizing what your plan would be. And as we go deeper into this webinar, I will show you how you can manage that in a practical way. So this is a very interesting slide which I came across. You know, when you are faced with fear, the first response is your mind freezes and your physical body freezes. So that is the fear zone. As the fear continues and it's kind of still there, but you enter into a learning zone. The learning zone may be like finding out more about your emotions, of the situation, of what information is coming in. And even if you are attending this webinar today, you are in the, not really in the fear zone, but in a learning zone. But rapidly, you have to move into the growth zone, and this demands changed behaviors. So I live in the present and focus on the future is a behavior you have to be with to be successful if you are leading ahead. You need a good emotional state. You need to show empathy to others. So there's some indicators, and if this or any previous slide, the one of the market cap I showed you, if anybody wants more details, there are much more details. They can send me an email at the end of when this webinar is finished. I'll display the email ID and we'll be glad to share that, and as well as a practical checklist on how to get started. Now, there is a loop called the OODA loop, OODA loop or whatever. This was developed by the US Air Force. And the function of this is that when you are in an uncertain environment, when the environment is very rapidly changing, how do you manage and lead yourself? You need to constantly observe what's happening. You need to orient yourself towards those things. You need to decide, maybe you need to decide that this is moving in this direction. And there are 2 or 3 scenarios possible. And you have to decide some plans of action. So this is very dynamic. And when the time comes, you need to act. The whole essence of this is here. The key to victory is to be able to make appropriate decisions faster than the rate with the environment evolves. This calls upon you that 2 parts of your work, as I said, what is work, is to observe, to get more information, keep orienting, which means, okay, this is this information, what does it mean to me? How will it impact me? And then decide on scenarios, and I'll get into some scenario thinking later. So this is a OODA approach, which is the essence of what one should do in a crisis. So again, riding the tsunami. So first thing is people safety. You know, people safety is essential. It is, you need to stay on top of your business. You need to figure out what's happening, deal with uncertainty. And I said, deal with and stay calm in this whole perspective. So you have also to ensure that you are not kind of, while looking at this, getting into those traps of thinking, abhi to main kuch nahi kar sakta hoon, I can't do anything, we'll see when it stabilizes. These are all thoughts of deferment and postponement. You can always think through. As I told you that OODA, observe and orient yourself. So this is happening outside. What does this mean to me? What can it mean to me in the future? Use pen and paper whenever you are thinking through anything. You may also need to think things like, do you need to ask creditors for time? Do you need to lower costs? Where will you find alternate suppliers? What payments have priority? Whom do you pursue? So that is staying on top of your business. I know it is uncertain, it's unpredictable. So you need also, in terms of behavior, to maintain self-belief, stay motivated and keep others motivated. Remember that even in total disasters like what Japan or Germany faced during the World War II, things changed. They have become the leading economic forces. So we will come out of this dip, and you need to stay calm and get others to stay calm. So as I said, what to do? You need to plan ahead. When you start planning ahead, that is the start of your journey of leading ahead. You need to take other people's opinion. So do not work solo. Tomorrow it is teams who are going to come to play. For example, if you need to think of the first thing I will do, it may be I want to sanitize my work office or the factory. Now you can't do this on your own. You need to involve others. You need other people to get vendors, other people. Do you have a plan of action even to do that? Do you have some kind of thoughts put together on that first thing to be done? So you need to involve others and build it up that way. So others' opinions are important. And then you need to work to multiple time views. And I will go into detail into this aspect because this is a critical aspect of leading ahead and managing yourself, how you lead ahead. I'll go into detail on this, multiple time views. And you have to overcome personal gaps. All of us are competent, but Somewhere our competencies may be low, somewhere our competencies may be average. What we will need as we come out of this crisis is the best possible tuning of yourself. You need to overcome any personal gaps, whether skill, whether behaviors, and you have to conquer these gaps during the period from now till day zero when things open up. So lead ahead, plan ahead is one key, which means unless you start planning ahead, you cannot start leading ahead. And therefore, planning is one essential part of work to be done. So as I said, one essential part of work you do, which is related to leadership, may be missing. It is the planning ahead component of that, because that will switch over into leading ahead. As I said, time views, all these four are important, and then personal gaps. So let me give you an example of what you can start working on. So people safety. Now people safety, okay, start working at home, but it doesn't stop there. You need to start working on plans on future people safety when they get back to work. So start planning now. That is something you can do. Then you need transparency with customers, because they need to know what your situation is. It's all right to tell them we are disrupted. When this opens, it is going to take us 1 month to come to 30% capacity. It will take us 2 months to get to 50% capacity. You cannot make those claims if you have not thought through your restart plans. So transparency with customers, they appreciate information, even if you do not you are not able to do anything at the moment. Then stabilize supply chains. Okay, everybody is hit, but hey, what's happening? You know, that OODA, observe what is happening out there. Call up your supply chain person, find out what's happening, get a hang on what his perceptions or her perceptions are. Then you need to figure out working capital and cash flows. These are going to be critical for many of us. If these are not well managed, it will be for many people the difference between success and failure, future success and failure. Then virtual technologies are here. So everybody's gone onto Zoom. So that's good. We are using virtual technology. Where else can you be using this? And as I said, we have these gaps in ourselves. So this is ideal time for virtual learning and upskilling yourself. These will make you agile. These will make you do things faster and without risk. And then you need to develop your planning skills and how to work out scenario plans. So planning skills, whatever level you are, enhance the level of your planning skills. This is going to be critical. Then as you observe, as you orient, and you will probably work out 2-3 scenarios which are possible. Top actions and master list. So I asked you, what is the first thing you will do when it restarts? So what is the second thing you need to do? What is the third thing you will need to do? What is the fourth thing you'll need to do before you know it? What will I do when this ends? If you keep asking your question 100 times, it will give 100 actions into your master list. Of course, you need to prioritize this. So that is something you can start doing now and will help you nearing end crisis, because you would have started thinking through. You need restart plans for each one of these things in these master lists. You need to, sometimes you will need to reimagine or readjust to the new normal. So use teams. A single person's thinking may not be enough. And always solution-centric thinking. So when you encounter a problem while planning or reimagining, and you say, this is a problem, I can't do anything, you lost the plot. What is the solution? And towards the end, I mentioned working capital and cash flows. So cost discipline is something everyone will have to work on. Plan for different time views. These are really multiple time horizons. So your work from now till maybe 6 months comprises of planning and having a rolling plan for every 2-week time horizon, simultaneously looking at a 2-month time horizon and 2 quarters. And maybe later, once maybe it starts, you might have things to get you into a 2-year horizon, which is very maybe where you left off and where you start a new growth process. However, 3 time horizons critical, and these are now practical steps which you can start doing to lead ahead. First, examples of a 2-week time horizon. So this is the rolling plan, as I said, for every coming 2 weeks. And so right now, if you make a 2-week plan, then next Friday, Saturday, you make for another 2 weeks, and the next Friday, Saturday thereafter for again 2 weeks. So that's why it's called a rolling plan. It will keep going on and on to emerging realities that you can do something about. Why is a week important? Because you can very easily foresee what you can do in this week. So it could be competence, further competence in Zoom. So you are all right. Can you start a meeting? You're attending a meeting, but can you start a meeting on your own? Is your competence fine? This is something you can do in the week things. So if a Zoom, for some reason, all these alarmist things saying it's not safe. What about Skype? Are you familiar with Skype? Is your Skype out open? Or what about free conference call? There are others. So what is your backup plan? So these are really something, again, people safety is something which is critically important, which you need to be abreast of. Not only professional people, but your personal home, family. Then this is ideal time for building relationships. Can you have, say, an action that I will call 2 people every day? These could be vendors, these could be customers, these could be relatives, these could be friends, these could be future customers, these could be anything. And any claims you have of money coming through, each week you think, what is it I can do to kind of maybe stay in touch, maybe get a commitment out? Who do I need to collaborate with or will need to do collaboration in the future? And what can I do to upskill myself? So there are massive small courses, long courses. We at LMI believe that small courses build awareness and the longer courses actually give you the skills, because skills come out of working on it. Skill does not come on reading about it. So this is something you can do on a 2-week horizon. On a 2-month horizon, if you don't get revenues, what's your plan? How do you manage? So figure out, sit down, put this in your next week plan that I need to think through. Use pen and paper. Sometimes I say, if you have a thick notebook, keep everything written in there, it won't get lost. Sometimes A4 pieces of paper can get lost. But this is something, if you do not have a revenues plan, where do you want to reduce your spend? How do you manage? So this is something, what are the recoveries? So this is something everybody must work on. Cost reduction plan, whether it is COVID or not, this is always something which you need to work upon. How can I reduce costs? How can I ask my office renter, the person I rent the office from, to give me a reduced rent for this period? I don't know. There are 10 things you can do once you get started in thinking. People plan. Okay, it's convenient. Everybody is working from home. No, some people may have gone off. So there are workers who may have gone off. So when this restarts, what is the people plan looking like? I may start at 30% capacity. So who are the 30% critical people and what do they need to do? So you need to start thinking people in the whole restart game. And a larger restart plan, which could include sanitizing, which could include subsequent sanitizing, which could include testing, which could include inventory, which could include workers or whatever. And then vendor relationships. So where do you have vendors? Which one of these vendors are hit? Remember, many SMEs were barely managing to getting their cash flows and barely surviving. Many of them may not be able to maintain their vendor status because they are into a cash crunch. So where do you find alternate vendors? So figuring out on this, again, customer relationships, Now you need to time how many times you need to work on this, but you need to crystallize your thinking and crystallize it each day. That is an essential part of your work because that feeds into the work element called planning. And this work element called planning, as I said, is where you start leading ahead. Maybe some may think of diversification options. So I am in a textile business. So can I start making this protective equipment or things like that? So it may exist for some, it may not exist for some, but you need to start looking and thinking through. And market intelligence. Remember, observe, orient. So unless you have no feeding coming from vendors, customers, market intelligence, you cannot orient yourself if you are not observing. So these are critical things to be done and update yourself and upskill yourself. So as I said in the beginning, I have a couple of reports which I can share with you, which are market intelligence. Where are we right now? I'd gladly share with you if you email me. These are examples. Your list will definitely have factors which reflect your reality and your circumstance and your industry and the type of business you are in. But these are examples. 2 quarters. So use written plans. As I mentioned, anything else is dream and fantasy. It's daydreaming. So it should be down in writing. You need a finance plan, or you need a person who does the finance plan to do the finance plan. You need a cash flow plan. You need an operations restart plan. So this could be, we'll restart with 20%, 30%. If demand comes in, maybe rapid scaling up to 70%. Remember, one of the biggest variables which nobody has any handle of is how will consumer demand behave. Nobody has an inkling to it. You may have scenarios, there may be economists, there may be all kinds of professionals putting in theory, this is going to restart by this quarter, there is going to restart by that quarter. There already lists out that which industry, how long will it take to restart. Many of these are guesses, some educated guesses, some maybe even wild guesses. But if you have to restart and if you have to scale up, then what is your plan? At least have that in writing. You're not executing it, you're just planning. So getting to full capacity plan, then a people plan for full capacity, and a keeping safe plan. Supplies, logistics, list is endless. So again, I would repeat, there has to be a 2-week rolling plan. Every Friday, review it. What do the next 2 weeks look like? Then have a 2-month plan and figure out. The 2-month plan is really where you start planning ahead. The 2-week plan is where you start orienting, getting started on some plan, getting crystallized thinking ready. And as you go along, you go into more involvement with more people, do a to and fro with your team, and get the other plans rolling. So remember, there's a crisis perspective which often freezes us, which contains us, and we kind of get jammed up. And there is a plan ahead perspective, which is where you start leading ahead and you start doing that element of work which is crucial for success. It has been said that people who have good plans often get good success. And people who have little plans or small plans get some success. What of those who do not plan at all? Are we in this bottom bracket? That is a bad place to be. So then there are barriers within us. So as I said, we may have things that hold us back. These are things within us that stop us. These are depending largely on our thinking attitudes, on our skills, on our competencies. So we'll do an exercise. We'll display a list of areas where you need competencies and to be better. Now, I want you to take up a pen and paper and take 5 of these, which are the most essential for you to improve. Remember, I am asking you to set up something where an improving yourself exercise, building that version 2 of you is going to start. So what are the 5 things that you need to improve that are highly important and they impact your performance. We may have a limited discussion, as I said, Rahul said in the beginning. So here is the list. Now, just before you get started, there are some elements in here which are related to results. But some of these could have reflection on the other things. So, for example, if you have too much rework and rejections, it may be due to a low planning spend, or it could be not adequate competencies in goal setting, goal planning, and goal execution. On-time delivery, still, it may be that you are overcommitting and underperforming. So productivity could be an issue. Productivity could be due to teamwork, could be due to time, could be delegation, could be again low planning. And low cost reduction means that you have no plans or something like that. So think through this. Pick out the 5 ones which are impacting your life and will become barriers for you to be more agile and execute things faster. Remember, execution speed will be critically important as we come out of this virus. So I'll be silent for about a minute or two. And if you have anything to ask, you can put in the chat, but select 5. That is the main thing, the ones that block you. All right, so I hope we have got 5 things selected. Now I would like you to think of 1, 2, and 3 in order of importance. And right now we can have example. For example, if delegation is letting you down, ineffective delegation. Really what is happening is that you might have tried to delegate before. It didn't work. So you took the work back and you say, okay, let me do it. Let me finish it quickly. This chap will create a mess or something. In effect, what has happened is your junior has delegated his work to you. And when you start doing your junior's job, then you stop doing what you ought to be doing, which could be spending time on planning ahead and leading people. We have at LMI worked with a huge amount of people worldwide, over 2 million, and in India over 20,000 people. And we found that this delegation can block up even up to 1 hour of your time, if not more. If you conquer delegation, it frees up 1 hour a day. 1 hour a day, what does this mean? In a working month, 1 hour may mean 25 hours per month, which is around 3 work days per month. Now, even if you take a holiday 1 month in a year, in 11 months with a 3 day per month, it is 33 days, which is like the 13th month in the year. If you conquer this, you will gain 1 complete month to do stuff, to plan better, to train people better, to do a lot of other things, maybe go back home a bit earlier. This is something which you need to. Similar thing is interruptions. How many times do you interrupt yourself because of social media? Now, I could recommend to you to go and do the LMI course and fix all of this. But seriously, in your next 2 weeks and 2 months. Do something about it. Get these fixed, because when the time comes really to do something on this, these are the very things that can let you down. So list out what your weaknesses are. If you cannot change it to a strength, which can happen when you do a serious program of upskilling yourself. But in the meantime, you can even stop that weakness from being a weakness, that you're just managing it. But you need to work on this very, very seriously. I would like to end this here and invite any questions that you may have via chat. And I can also, if there are no questions, then unmute everybody to sort of get interactive. Rahul, please, do you have any questions?
So there are no questions as of now, but there are their observations about their 5 things that they need to improve.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me 1 minute. Let me see if I can unmute all. So all of you are unmuted, and anybody who would like to come in and talk something, ask something. Hello.
Ashok.
Yeah, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can we have a small session on Zoom competencies?
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would think that is a good thing under these normal circumstances. We can have a small session on Zoom competencies, right?
I will send you what all challenges I have when on Zoom competencies.
Yeah.
And then if you can answer, tick mark those, it will make us very comfortable.
Yeah, yeah. But having said that, there are a lot of YouTube videos available on how to sort out your Zoom problems. But do send it. Let's figure out. I may sometimes send you a YouTube link back if we are not organizing a webinar on this. But let's get inputs from everyone, and we can certainly build up something, some core essential things to be done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sudhi. Anybody else, please?
Sure, we need to unmute the videos.
Yeah, some people have their videos off, so they can put them on.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody can put on their videos, right?
Hi. Hi.
Any questions, please? All right. Seems we have don't have questions, so thank you all for being present here, and I'd like Hiru to say something, please.
Yeah, okay. I think while these are challenging times and pretty difficult for almost everyone, for LMI, I think this is a sort of silver lining on the cloud, is that we've got an opportunity to do online programs and overcome the challenge that we've often faced when we've done sales interviews about how you can get people away for 4 hours a day for 8-10 sessions. And we've had experiences where we tried and managed to take people to Khandala and had 2 sessions with Wockhardt some 25 years ago. Then Schindler brought people from all over India and we did their sessions in Bombay. And so now